there, and he was supposed to help. I know she's 17. We let her stay by herself, whatever. But through the night, because he was working 6 p.m. to 6 a.m., that kind of scared me. Mm-hmm. So, like, she just joined the Air Force. So, like, I know she's going to have to learn how to, like, shoot a gun, protection, but, you know, like, she's not ready yet, mature. Like, she's very mature, but she's not ready. So I came back, you know, and I was, like, talking to them. I just told them, I was like, my daughter's at home, whatever. And they're like, we can move you to the next class. Like, I think it was February, whatever. Mm-hmm. So anyway, so just in case you're like, oh, I thought you were, but I did fly out. They flew you out or whatever. And I came back because I was panicking about her, the dogs, everybody, and take care of. So,
she's your baby, right?
Yeah.
So, why don't we talk a little bit about what's going on? So, I understand. So, initially, you didn't tell me some things because Albert was there. And when we say Albert, we're talking about Eugene.
He doesn't like Eugene because his dad is Eugene, and he was a child molester.
Okay.
So, like, he, like, raped his sister. Mm-hmm. So he freaks out about the word, like, if he hears Eugene. But I said maybe that might help you. If you don't have to call him Eugene, it probably would be.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what I want you to do is take me through Sunday into Monday. Okay. And be as detailed as possible as to what you were doing, who was there, where you were at, how long you spent, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. Because the more detail I have, it might spark something for me.
Is it okay if I take my notes out? Because, like, I wrote down all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I was like, I tried to write down anything he might, like, say, and just in case, because I have, like, notes from different things or whatever. So we already talked about the beginning things. I figured you read that. So my paper is that we're at the same story that we started with, but then you want me to start with Sunday, which was the day that we went hiking, right?
Yes.
Okay. So we went hiking at Garden of the Gods. We actually, did you see the picture from Garden of Gods?
I didn't.
Okay, so we have pictures where we went to Garden of Gods. We were going to take the dog for a walk, but then my daughter got called in to work because she works at massage days.
Okay.
So we were like, okay, we're going to go hiking. Crazy thing is, like, it's always like got one kid likes to hike a lot, the other one don't. So spent the whole time like, come on, let's go. We got to burn calories. Excuse me, all those type of things. Gannon, he started having a stomach problem, and he pooped in his pants. So it kind of cut our hike a little bit short. But I was like, it's okay. It was kind of cold. I say cold for me, but I'm used to like 80-degree weather, so it was kind of getting cold. So we decided to go home.
Okay.
So we go home. I don't really remember what we did the rest of the day. It was probably just like random things around the house. I feel like we went to dinner. Oh no, we didn't get dinner because he wanted to take a bath. That's it. So he came in and that's when he asked me about the whole bath ball.
Okay.
And he had pooped in his pants, so I thought he wanted to like take a shower, so I gave him a bath bomb.
Okay.
So going through the night, we were just doing like a regular random. I feel like I don't know who we should be talking to, but
you can talk to both.
Yeah, we used to be doing like random things around the house. It's Sunday, no football on. You know, I mean, I don't know like specific every little detail we did, but just a normal everyday situation. Other than he was in a lot of pain because he gets really bad. Is it okay if I like show you like graphic, like not graphic, but like with my hand motions?
Yeah, that's fine.
He'll get where he has to like poop, and like I swear they're like that big. It might take like 2 to 3 weeks. He has like a GI problem, so because he takes Vyvanse, so like he had went the whole time without Vyvanse. So whenever that happens, sometimes it'll get where his stomach like wants to work, but then like can't. So he spends a lot of time in the bathroom, like kind of like hurting and things like that.
Okay.
All right. So then at this point, the dogs, we have 2 new little, a Frenchie and an English bulldog. They're really like,
French and English bulldog.
Yeah, they are. They're really kind of like Sadie's the French bulldog. She's kind of like high maintenance. But the kids always help out a lot with them, but Gannon wasn't feeling too well. And the dogs, they all, how they like know someone's not feeling well. So they were all laying down there, and it was gassy, like very, very. They're back for that, very, very gassy or whatever. And life goes on. But so Gannon had started a candle again, normal day. He's very like responsible in terms of like if you give him something and say, do this, and like a list to prepare, it's fine. So we let him, do things like that. Like Albert lets him like use the box cutter to cut the boxes down, and like teaching things to be like a independent, growing up adolescent. So I didn't see a problem with him, light a candle, whatever.
Okay.
Well, I don't remember the exact time. I'd have to look at when the fire thing went off. I was tired. Albert had left because we spent the whole night up prior with Saturday because he was going to train in Oklahoma. So we stayed up most of the night.
Okay.
Just everybody was going to miss each other, wouldn't see each other for a while, whatever. So I was kind of like, tired. I had dozed off for a little bit. And Lena asked me, could she stay up and still watch the rest of her iPad or whatever. Usually I'm always like, no, strict, like, hey, no, you can, whatever. But I did feel kind of bad because it was just her birthday. And at the same time being her birthday, we had a lot of stuff going on.
Right.
So we made it about her, but like I was trying to give her a little bit extra because not everybody got to make it there. And we went all out for Gannon's birthday. Like we took him to a Rockies game. We took friends with him. I mean, like popcorn, hot dogs. But we didn't do that with her. But in her defense, we bought her a Switch. So it was kind of like different, but she didn't understand that. So I let her stay up longer than she's supposed to. As like a, kind of sort of bribery, but, So stayed up a little bit later. And so she was still she's a very hard sleeper and she's hard to like pick up, move if she falls asleep, whatever. But I could tell she was just barely asleep when I went in there. So it starts beeping, like a beep, 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 beep. And I thought that someone was coming in the house. So I look and don't see anyone at any doors or hear anything. So I was like, I thought it was just a sensor. So I hit in our 2564, which is our alarm code, but it didn't go off. And I was like, what's wrong with this thing? So I walked through Lena's room. The alarm is in her room, and I walk back like through the top part of the house. And you've been in the house, so you know the top part of the house.
I haven't been in there.
Okay, so there's the upper level, and then there's the below basement. So I like walk back and forth or whatever. I didn't see anything going on. Then it started saying fire, 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 fire. Like it kept saying fire.
Oh wow.
So and I thought it was you know how so there's like sensors for your fire alarm and then there's sensors for your like alarm.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just going to everything trying to like ban it.
Need a break? We'll get you back into the courtroom right after this.
Quiet Colorado community rocked by a tragedy.
11-year-old Letecia Stauch disappeared from his home.
Gannon's stepmother, Letecia Stauch, is charged with his murder.
Stauch allegedly killed her stepson and then drove his body across the country.
Now the jury will decide her fate.
She has a tough road ahead.
As a family searches for justice.
She will pay 100% for this heinous thing she done.
The Stepmother Murder Trial. Live coverage today, only on Court TV.
Welcome back to Court TV Live. Jury instructions continue in New Jersey for Zachary Latham. Let's get you back to Colorado where the jury is viewing a police interview with Letecia Stauch.
And fire, nothing's wrong, whatever. So I was putting like towels over some of the sensors because I thought that was like monitoring the fire thing, whatever. And then I realized it kept going and going. So then I see smoke coming up from the downstairs. So I run downstairs and my idea of a big fire is anything that I see on fire pretty much and there's smoke, that's just because I grew up in the country. So, like I remember bonfires and like things like that, So there was smoke coming up through the basement. So the basement so if you walk down the basement, there's the sofa and stuff over here. It was coming up through the basement. So I like run back up the stairs, go grab Lane, and luckily my point telling you about her being not a rough sleeper, she woke right up. So she wrote back up and I like almost like grabbed her and I was like, get up, get up, get up, get up. I said, I gave her the keys. I said, can you go? I don't remember the exact order, but I said something along the lines of, can you go take the dog to Daddy's truck and sit there and wait?
Right.
So I don't remember the order of how we all ran out the house, but I know that at that point I did. She ran out and I can't remember if I ran out to make sure they got the truck or if she ran out by herself. I don't remember that part, but I do know that had gotten in the truck. I came back inside, run back downstairs, and that's when I was trying to get Gannon because I couldn't I didn't know how to get everybody at once. So my main thing was to get the front people out, and then go. So then I ran back downstairs to get Gannon. And then the fire was on the floor over here, then on the sofa. So I'm pretending this is the sofa and this is our floor. So it was right here and right here. And I saw the candle that was over here. So there was covers everywhere because the kids always get on them about, they leave a lot of covers laying around all the time. I mean, there's like 10 clothes and LOLs and blankets and all this. So they were all right here. So I take a whole bunch of them and I go and like basically smash down on the sofa and the fire to put it out. So I got a burn and then I was like, get up again and started running at that point because it wakes him up. He's alert. He's realizing that the covers and everything's on fire. The carpet's on fire. And we all go outside. So we get in Albert's truck and we drive. And I drove off in panic because I saw that I put the fire out. So I knew that there was no, like nothing wrong, like it wasn't going to keep going. I drove off in panic because I just like, oh my gosh, what do I do now? Like we break the carpet, we done this and this. Gannon's upset, freaking out because he's scared he's going to get in trouble and da-da-da-da-da. So, like the whole talk was going on. So we drove maybe around the block a little bit and came right back. So we came back in and like developed a plan for the next day to figure out, honestly, we were going to fix the carpet and try to like not say anything. And the reason for that is because like Albert freaks out about every little thing. If the kids do something and I'm on like me and he'll be like, you did this, you weren't being a good mom, you weren't doing this, you weren't doing that. And so we both kind of were like a little like worried about it. And he gets very like crazy, like if something goes wrong. So that was the plan. Go to sleep, rest. He was going to stay out of school. We were going to get the carpet fixed and then go from there. Plus, stomach was hurting. So Lena didn't want to sleep in her room. Everybody was still kind of like frazzled. And I think Lena slept with me or on the sofa. I brought the dogs up. And again, he wanted to go in his room at that point because he was already sleeping on the sofa. So that's where Sunday, like pretty much kind of like stopped and everybody went to bed and yada, yada, yada. And I think I sent Albert messages because he was sleeping, was on a different time zone and he didn't see him that night. So.
Okay.
And I didn't feel that no one was in harm. Make sure I say that because the fire was not going. Now, I know that Gannon had like black marks all on his shirt, like smoke marks. But he had on a long sleeve shirt and a short sleeve shirt because sometimes he has on whatever. He had on a short sleeve shirt with a long sleeve shirt. So I didn't see him in any kind of like nothing other than the little burns that we had. I didn't see.
Where did you see burns on Gannon?
All right, so with Gannon, I just saw that. Okay, so like on the top, like right here, so like say the shirts are here, so like right here there was a burn, and the reason for that was I think whenever like he was trying to come up, it kind of burned him a little bit. I'm not gonna make an assumption. I don't really know. And as far as that, I didn't see anything else. Like I didn't know any like other differences or anything like that. All I saw was that. I saw you okay. He ran out the house, he was firing out the house. Everything was normal. Yada yada yada. Now, I'm going to let you know in a little bit why he was bleeding.
Okay.
But at that point, when you get to the Monday morning thing, I'll let you know about that.
Describe the flames for me. How tall are these flames? Is it like smoldering on the carpet, sort of kind of creeping across like a grass fire, or is it like coming up, working its way up the couch? Like, how is it?
Well, I really don't know. I know that it was like here, centralized on the floor, but like I could see, I think the smoke might have like kind of intimidated me more because I spent the whole night coughing. So I think that kind of intimidated me so much because the visibility was starting to be a little bit, like as if I had walked into a small little fire and I was just afraid that it was going to, because, like upholstery for the couch, that was my biggest concern was the upholstery for the couch. So,
okay.
So I would say, it was like maybe like in this area, like right here. It wasn't like here.
So the flames were, 2-3 feet high, you think? How much light did you see coming off of this through the smoke?
No.
Okay, and that's fine if you don't know.
I'm not like a professional and I was in the moment of freaking out to like give it an accurate answer.
Sure.
Because I don't want to tell you what's here, and it might have been here. I don't want to tell you this, and that. I don't know.
This is all based off of your memory to the best of your ability. Right. And that's all it is. Okay.
I do know that I saw covers coming up on fire.
What was what covers were coming up on fire?
Like he had a cover on because he was sleeping on the sofa.
What
Our
was he covered with?
What do you mean?
What kind of blanket? You had mentioned there was LOLs, there's quilts.
Which color?
What blanket was he using?
Oh, I'm not sure. There was a couple that were there. There was a black. They were all. I put them all back in that bin that was sitting there. Did you? You said you didn't.
I haven't been in there.
Okay, so there was black. It was like a little furry. There was watermelon ones. I don't remember specifically which one he had, but I know that there was blankets in the area because they always leave blankets around. They leave the mermaid one around. But the whole operation of when I grabbed them and put it out, I grabbed them all and done it. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Were any of them like damaged whenever that happened?
Oh yeah, they all. I left them all there when I showed them that night that, like they were damaged or whatever.
Okay. Well, I haven't been in the house either.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm speaking to you like you.
Yeah, nope, I didn't go into the house either, so I was like trying to make sure that we're.
Yeah.
So then Gannon decides that he doesn't want to go to school because of his tummy issues or because he's going to help you with the carpet. What is?
It was kind of a combination of both.
Okay, and who excused him from school?
But I had texted Albert and said, could he not go to school for his stomach?
Okay.
Because he was hurting with his stomach, but also the whole plan was that we were going to figure it out.
So who actually contacted the school to excuse him?
It wasn't me. I didn't. I don't know.
Okay.
Did someone contact? Because I didn't.
I would assume that somebody would contact the school, or you probably would get like a phone call. I know with my kids' school, if they're not there by 8:15, the office.
Then they would call Albert, not me, because he would have the like the automated system where he's like, your child's missing. Your child is missing from school today, whatever.
Okay. Yeah. So that's Sunday, and you're saying a lot of we and that kind of thing. So you mentioned earlier that Harley had gone to work.
Mm-hmm.
She got called into massage envy.
Mm-hmm.
So who went on the hike?
So it was originally going to be all of us. Harley, me, Gannon, and Lena. And then Harley got called in. She switched shifts with someone, but then that person, I guess the policy is that person agrees to take your shift, but then don't come. You still have to come or something. I don't know. But, so she just was like, I have to go. She's only going to be working there a few more weeks or whatever. So I told her, I was like, don't burn any bridges. I know it sounds crazy that you have to do that, but you got to go in. So she went into work on Sunday.
Okay. So it ended up being you, Gannon and Lena that went hiking.
Right.
Okay. And so then let's go through Monday. Yep.
So we wake up on Monday. Normal. How we wake up. Everybody gets up, whatever. Gannon stays in bed. He already knows that we are going out and about today. That was the plan. I walked Lena out because usually Gannon walks her outside. So I walked Lena out to the front door and around to make sure I seen her around the corner to get to the bus stop. And she did.
Okay.
I come back inside. I don't remember if I laid down a little bit. I probably played on my phone for a little bit, wasted a little, because she goes outside 6:50, 6:55. Still early, take the dogs out, things like that. Well, I go down, we're talking